Hey chillers, welcome back to my channel. It's Tuesday, which means it's spooky day. So today I am reading part 8 of There's Something Wrong with My Fiance. It got really interesting last time with Mark being like possessed or whatever, and Sam, well, I guess he was possessed, but with Sam actually being considered to be the devil. I don't know what's going on, but let's jump right in. Just a disclaimer, I'm going to leave a link to the story down below. It's going to say 8.5, but they don't have an 8, so I'm going to say that it's 8 and then a half. But I'm just going to make this into one video. So, here we go. Let me pull it up. Alright. This is my face. It says 8.5-ish. Alright. Hello Reddit, it's me again, Nikki. Actually me, not demon possessing my body Nikki, not Mark pretending to be Nikki. Really, it's me. Everything is fine, I think. I think it might actually be over. Let me explain. First of all, I want to apologize for the fact that my post last Friday got deleted. There were some formatting errors on my part that I did not realize I had made. I have simply been too busy with the things that have been going on, and I did not notice it had been removed. As such, I have simply decided to just start over, explain what happened between Mark's post and my attempted post, and what has happened since then. Where did I get that from? Enough has been going on that I was planning on updating you all anyway. But let's just squeeze it all in one big update. I'm sure you all get tired of hearing it anyway. After work last Saturday, I ran, just like I said. I packed up, grabbed everything I could, I contacted my bosses and told them there was an emergency, and I would be in my MIA for a few days. I drove until I found the smallest hole-in-the-wall motel I've never heard of. I paid cash for the room. Unfortunately, he couldn't. I thought he couldn't find me that way. Unfortunately, I effed up. Or, yeah, effed up. I had to pull cash out of an nearby ATM. I used my debit card to get gas. I wasn't thinking. Those are the transactions he saw when he checked my bank statement. He found me on Tuesday, and when he did, I freaked out. He wasn't Mark. Not even slightly. Gotta turn my brightness up. Not even slightly. He walked different. He spoke different. It was like a completely different man wearing Mark's skin. He tried to be gentle and sweet, feigning concern to convince me to come home with him. When I didn't go with him quite, he got evil, twisted. He smiled this evil grin and calmly, quietly told me what he had done. He told me everything. He told me that he had murdered Ian Smith with a dagger and then burned his body. He told me that he was a new man since the ritual, that everything was so much better, that he was so much better. He told me not to ruin his new perfect life. He was confessing everything, so I took the opportunity to pry. I needed to know what happened. I asked about the credit card and the photo. He told me that they were a link between him and Smith. The credit card was to transfer the wealth, and the photo was to show that they were doubles. I don't think he even realized he had left him in Smith's pockets when he left. He didn't know that he had left evidence. Now that he's read everything, now he knows. The demon that has taken over is just too proud, too confident to see the errors that he has made, leaving behind evidence and then going and announcing it on my Reddit. The demon inside is just too cocky. That's my theory, at least, that a demon has taken over Mark's body. It's the only thing that makes sense. It's easier to stomach than the idea that Mark was always inherently evil. Above all, he told me even if I told anyone, no one would believe me, so I should stop being so difficult. I tried to keep away from him. I had no idea what he would I had no idea what he would do to me if he got close. I didn't want to find out. Eventually, one of the other motel patrons got concerned and called the authorities because the police showed up saying they had received a report of a domestic disturbance. They spoke to us separately, trying to get a grip on what was happening. I told them that he was my fiance and that I was afraid he was going to hurt me. I don't know what he said to them, but somehow I ended up being sent to a mental health facility. I spent the next 2 days being evaluated by every professional under the sun. The whole time, Mark's words rang in my head. No one will believe you. No one will believe you. No one will believe you. So I lied. Well, half lied. I told them that we had been fighting. Told him that his demeanor had changed, that he had become angrier, more hostile, darker. I told him that I had grown afraid for my safety, and that's why I ran away. I told them that I had only acted out to keep him away from me in the hotel because I thought he would hurt me if he got his hands on me. I left out the deal with the devil, the satanic ritual. I'm not crazy, but the whole truth would have made me sound like I was. Eventually, Thursday evening, I was deemed mentally sound enough to return to my life. If I chose, I checked myself out and immediately changed my emergency contact from Mark to Kelly. Excuse me. I didn't need him knowing I was out. I didn't have a car, a phone, anything. So I used the office's phone to call. First Kelly, then the police department asked for Jones. I told him where I was and asked them to come pick me up. That I would explain everything in person. Kelly was stuck at work and could not get out to come get me. He obliged. We went to the police station and settled into his office. I broke down crying and told him that I think Mark killed Ian Smith. I told him that he had confessed it to me, but he told me that no one would believe me because it was part of a satanic ritual. That sort of thing just doesn't happen around here. Upon the mention of a confession, Jones got serious. He asked me more specific questions about the crime. He asked about the murder weapon, the dagger with the burning being performed post-mortem when the crime had occurred, things like that. Details that were determined from the autopsy, but not been made public knowledge. Details that only the police and the people involved should have known. When I had answered his questions to satisfaction, he got really quiet. I know that this was a tricky spot. What was he to do in this situation? By all logic, I should be arrested on the spot for my intimate knowledge of the crime. That should have made me suspect number one. But I already provided proof of my alibi. Still, who is to say that I didn't have a hand in the crime, and now was trying to pin it on crime? God, I cannot speak. We decided to break and step outside for a cigarette. While outside, I remembered that I had left this account logged in on my computer which Mark now had. I was worried what he would do if or when he found my posts here. But then I wondered if he'd taken them down, or altered them somehow to hide his guilt. I asked Jones if I could get on the internet somehow to test how much curiosity had gotten the better of me. Imagine my surprise when we found Mark's post. The timestamp proved that I was under psych lockdown at the time of posting, so there's no way it could have been me. That being said, it also did not prove that it was, in fact, Mark. Once we were sure Mark would be at work, I asked Jones to drive me home. Once there, I promptly tore the apartment apart. In my mind, if we could find that dagger, it might be enough. It would be evidence. Before anyone says anything about the legality of this, no, we did not have a warrant. But this is my home. My name is on the lease. I am allowed to search my own home whenever I want. And I am allowed to have whomever I want there while I do so. And I'm glad that I did. I found the dagger in Mark's gym bag, along with a brand new canister of lighter fluid, a book of matches, duct tape, candles, and a business card almost identical to Sam's, but with no contact information on it, no name, no phone number, just a plain matte black business card. It was like the name and number had just been erased. I wouldn't have even known what it was if I didn't have an identical one in my purse. Evidently, Mark had made the decision to eliminate me, and from the looks of it, he was trying to turn it into another ritual. What for? I don't know. But there it all was, right there on the floor of my bedroom closet. Mark was arrested that night around Walmart. Excuse me for my poor speaking. Around midnight, while he was at work, he is being held awaiting trial for the murder of Detective Ian Smith. Jones has told me that he thinks I should pursue charges for attempted murder or conspiracy to commit murder or something like that. I don't know. It's all so much right now. I feel like I need to meet with a lawyer. In the meantime, no one has left me alone for even a minute, which I am incredibly thankful for. I had to go back to the police station to give an official statement about finding the murder gear, which was horrible. I am staying at Kelly's house until I figure out what to do. My bosses at the bar and the kennel have been incredibly understanding, giving me some time off. The owner of the kennel even slipped me an Easter bonus to help. Thought I heard a noise. Detective Jones has been by every day checking in, gathering information. Obviously, the wedding is off. I am planning on officially moving out as soon as possible. I can't bear to stay in the home where I once had such a beautiful life and loving relationship. The home where my fiance, the man who I was supposed to spend the rest of my life with, plotted to murder me. I just can't do it. Here begins the new information, things that have happened since I tried to update. I had to call Mark's mother on Friday and fill her in. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Telling a mother that her son is in prison for the murder of his long-lost twin, that he had apparently been planning on murdering me as well. She was heartbroken, destroyed, confused. She said she would call me tomorrow once she calmed down, and we could talk more. Saturday evening, she did call me back. She asked how I was coping, and then with a shaky breath, said that she thought she might be able to fill in a few blanks with me. Then Mark's mother proceeded to give me the story of his pre-adoption childhood. According to his birth mother, at least the pieces that she'd been told when they adopted him. Mark's birth mother had been a wreck. She had been pregnant 4 times before Mark and Ian, losing each pregnancy for various reasons. Mark and Ian were the first children she carried to term. She was 19. Rumor had it that she had been kicked out of her home at 16 due to her first pregnancy. Her father was evidently highly abusive. After a period of living on the street, she began living with her new boyfriend, a much older man who prostituted her out for extra money. Because of this, it is unclear who exactly fathered the twins. Eventually, she turned to drugs. Somewhere around the time Mark and Ian were one, their birth mother ran into a dispute with her drug source. She tried to go get more, but she owed him money. He refused to supply her addiction until she paid the debt, one way or another. She told him that she had the money. It was just at home with her boyfriend. That she would go get it and bring it back to him. I feel like I gotta sneeze. Whew. To ensure that she returned, they took one of the babies. She had nothing else of value for them to hold on to. Evidently, she never returned. The only hard evidence of this is the court records that showed that a 1-year-old baby named Ian was anonymously left at the hospital with a note giving the name and address of his mother. When the authorities went to the house, she was gone, along with baby Mark. Upon trying to contact any next of kin, it was discovered that her mother had passed away, and her father was in prison. Eventually, Ian was adopted by the Smith family. Fast forward a year and a half, an elderly woman called the police, reporting that she had heard her neighbors fighting the night before. Not an unusual occurrence, but she had also heard a baby crying from the apartment all day. She was concerned for the child. The police arrived to find a 2.5-year-old Mark crying in his crib and his mother beaten to death on the floor. Mark was taken into the custody of the state. That is, in short terms, how Mark wound up with his adopted family. Unfortunately, however, there is no proof that these are the exact happenings. Most of what is known came from a diary that his birth mother kept. While first-hand accounts are nice, she was also a drug addict who had been abused most of her life. There's no telling how much of what she wrote was real versus how much she got twisted in her deteriorated mental state. She told me she never told Mark any of this as to not upset him. She had asked him many times if he had any memories of Chicago, and he had always said no. So rather than risk some long repressed memory being triggered, she gave him the best life possible. But I know this still leaves a few unanswered questions. First, how did Ian Smith end up in the mental ward of Mark's hospital in the first place? Well, I don't have the full story. But from the bits and pieces I have heard, I have gathered that he was mugged while out for his morning run that day he disappeared. The mugger stole his phone, wallet, keys, everything, and ended up throwing the evidence into the river to dispose of it. Ian stumbled his way to the hospital for help, injured, I assume from the mugging. He had no identification and lost consciousness in the ER. He awoke violently, swinging a hospital? They spelled hospital. Oh wait, no, they spelled it right. Wow, I just can't read. Hospital staff and freaking out. That's when he was transferred to site to make sure he was not a danger. That's when Sam came to have him released from the hospital. But like I said, I'm missing many of the details. This is just the basic gist I've pieced together from the little bits I've heard here and there. Second, who is claiming to be Detective Smith? I wish I had an answer for you, but I just don't. Oh wait, yeah, okay, never mind. But I just don't. Could it be someone who cloned his phone number? Yes. Could it have been someone pranking me? Sure. But neither of these options explain how they knew to call me, how they knew Mark was involved. Could it have been Demon Mark just messing with me? Yeah, but why wouldn't he have confessed that in his poorly planned tell-all post? Could it have been Sam's doing? I guess, but assuming Mark is right, and Sam is who he says he is, do you expect me to believe that Satan has nothing better to do with his time? And remember what he said. He couldn't tell me much. He's under contract. My best guess is that maybe it really was Ian Smith. Like a call beyond the grave. I know that sounds crazy, but come on. With everything that happened, who am I to draw the reality line at ghost phone call? I cannot have the hiccups right now. Third, how did Mark's deal fall apart? He was supposed to have luck and wealth, and he ended up getting arrested. How does that work? I'm no expert on satanic contracts, but the way I see it, there are three possibilities. First, Mark messed up and canceled out his deal somehow, or did something to reverse it. Second, there was never a deal at all, meaning that Salmon wasn't actually the devil or a demon, but he was rather just a psychopath who convinced an innocent man to murder his twin brother. If you ask me, this is the least likely of the three. Sam is just too eerie. He knows too much. He creeps the heck out of me. Something about him is definitely not human. Or third, another deal was made by someone else that trumped Mark's deal. Possibility number 3 scares me. When I think back to my meeting with Sam in the coffee shop, I deeply hope that the deal wasn't mine. Which brings the question, what if I did just make a deal with the devil? What now? I said I wanted to marry the man who loved me. I wanted my life back. I wanted all this stuff to stop. And now, I have lost my old life, lost my fiance. This is not what I wanted. I'm really hoping that means no deal was made, but if I did, what do I have to give? What is my payment? What more do I have to lose? I'd rather not think about that for now. Everything is okay. I just need to figure out what my normal will be. New normal will be. Without Mark, without my old life, I'll be okay. I hope. Everything's fine. One last thing before I go. I wanted to tell you all that I've in fact been paying attention. I've read the comments. I've got your message. I've seen the YouTube videos. You can believe what you want, but I know the truth. I know the heck I've been going through. I know because I'm living it. If you have any questions on this matter, please feel free to contact me directly. Put yourself in my shoes. The last thing I need to deal with right now is my sister finding a video of some girl reading my story and explaining to the world why I'm full of crap. Why she's just so over it. My fiance murdered a man in cold blood. My fiance almost murdered me. You think you're over it? I'm over it. I'm done living in this horror movie. But you don't get to direct your life. For those of you who have followed along and supported me through all of this, I'm forever grateful to you. I could not have got this far without your encouraging words. thank you for listening. Thank you for believing me. As for the rest of you, maybe Mark was right. Maybe people will never believe me, but that's okay. As always, I will update you if anything else happens. But I think for now, this may be goodbye. We can hope at least. Nikki. Oh, when she said she saw the YouTube videos, I honestly thought she was talking about mine. And I was like freaking out. But that concludes part 8 of There's Something Wrong with My Fiance. I think that's the end of the story right now. I'm not 100% sure. But if there is another update, then I will definitely share it with you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up so I know. And please follow all my social media down below. And please hit my bubble to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys on Challenge Day Thursday. Peace out, chillers.